Now, it's interesting you mentioned Iran. Can I bring you to that part of the world? The Iran versus Saudi Arabia conflict, which has been ongoing. It's deep, it's religious, it's economic, it's ethnic. Is that the flashpoint that worries you most?
Well, it's a part of the world that I know very well.
You spent a lot of time there.
I spent about 5.5 years in Saudi Arabia during 2 different periods of time. And you're right, that animosity, that rancor, that competition and jealousy between the Persian and Arab sides of the Gulf, and the Saudis and the Iranians in particular, is deeply rooted. And the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS, who is the day-to-day decision maker in Saudi Arabia, is viscerally anti-Iranian, and has, I think, encouraged this White House to be viscerally anti-Iranian as well, which is one of the reasons why I think Donald Trump decided that he was going to tear up our part of the agreement on the Iranian nuclear deal. The Iranians have suffered quite a bit as a result of our pulling out in terms of sanctions that the United States has imposed, and then the United States demanding that our partners and allies around the world do not honor their obligations under the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. And so the Iranian economy has been going, south. I don't doubt that the Iranians were responsible for these attacks. I don't know it, but I'm trying to think of who else would do it. I would like to think that the Saudis and Emiratis would not do it as a way to provide a pretext for some type of U.S. military action. But I can tell you that for a number of years, the Emiratis under MBZ, the Saudis under MBS, and the Israelis under Netanyahu really have been agitating for some type of action against Iran that is going to lead to a toppling of that regime. In the Obama administration, we said, toppling that regime is really going to result in very uncertain consequences. But what we can do is try to encourage its move toward moderation by having it agree to suspend or end its nuclear program, while at the same time giving it economic incentives to continue to go along this path. And so the moderates, the so-called moderates in Iran, I think were encouraged by that. But now with what the Trump administration has done, it's the hardliners who may in fact have been responsible for the bombing of these tankers.